Your absurd defiance ends here, hatchling.
The appointed time is here. Victory will be ours.
The fires of 1,000 suns.
The others arrived to challenge me for this realm.
I need more mana.
Money!
Hi, welcome back everyone. In this video I'm going to briefly talk about the key points of the build. If by the end of the video you will think that I did a great job, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's start with the tree. This is generic minion tree which focuses on getting as much jewel sockets as possible while keeping the good nodes. Let's start with the left side. Here we get jewel socket with the +1 to maximum endurance charges. Next, some additional block chance with the tattoos, large cluster for the minion damage, minion attack speed, chaos resistance and some maximum life, more abuse jewels, life, endurance, more sockets, minion damage, more life. We get this mastery to improve our mana sustain, more block chance, spiritual command for the shield charge, sacrifice and the minion mastery for the leech. Next, some more minion damage nodes, another big cluster with the same passives, 2 more abyss jewels, and death attunement for +1 to number of summoned specters. Some more life, more jewel sockets, some passives to improve the survivability of our animate guardian, more sockets for adorned, some suppress and chance to suppress lucky mastery, and lethe shade for more survivability. 3 passive voices, storm shroud, Watcher's Eyes, Sublime Vision. Tattoos for the reduced extra damage from critical strikes and minion life. And finally, Glorious Vanity with the Divine Flesh notable. Now let's go to the gear. Let's start with the AG gear. For the weapon we use Paradoxica with increased lightning damage and increased attack speed. This is best in slot weapon. For the shield, I'm using the Ash's Mirror because it adds 1 to 10 lightning damage for each shocked enemy you killed recently. This is the best shield for the mapping. The helmet is the Mask of the Stitch Demon. I use it to give the AG the good level of recovery, so it won't die from any dots. Next, explosive body armor with increased critical strike chance. For the gloves, I use Soul Ascension because it gives the AG Soul Eater buff. He will eat soul no more than once every 0.5 seconds. Each Soul Eater stack gives the AG 5% increased attack speed. For the boots, I use generic Tailwind, Elusive and Onslaught boots. This is it when it comes to the AG gear. Now let's go to the main character gear. For the main hand weapon, I use 4.5 Link Sword with the Squire. It will give AG a lot of damage. For the helmet, I'm using Rare Helmet with as much life as possible, some life regen, and +2 to minion skills. For the body armor, this is the main piece of this build, the Rani prototype, with the crit reduction corruption, which will set the nearby enemy's lightning resistance equals to yours, which will reduce to -200%. For the gloves, I use rare gloves with a lot of life, suppress, chaos resistance, dexterity, and +2 to socketed AoE gems. This is important to get to 90% maximum cold resistance. For the boots, I use rare boots with some life, chaos resistance, movement speed, some suppress, and level 30 aspect of the crab. For the amulet, I'm using replica Dragon Fang since it gives +3 to level of all animate guardian gems, some reservation, and reduced attributes and gems requirement. Also, you should get as little to all elemental resistance as possible. As for the rings, I'm using the Bone Ring with a lot of life, -2 lightning resistance, minion move speed, attack and cast speed. The mana cost is just a dull amount, and I reflect it with Calendar Touch. For the belt I'm using the Mage Blood, Progenesis for the survivability, Quicksilver with the 15% damage leech craft, Silver Flask with the reduced effect of curses on you, Sapphire Flask for the maximum cold resistance and some life regen, quartz flask for the phasing and suppress, also for the chance to avoid being shocked, and a lot of abuse jewel for the minion physical damage, attack speed, and accuracy rating. Now let's talk about the gems. For the main links, I'm using Animate Guardian of Smithing, which is superior version of the usual Animate Guardian, since it has better AI and better skill. For the supports, I'm using minion damage and added lightning damage, because AG will have a lot of % increased damage, but not enough flat damage. For the links in the Squire, I chose to do Awakening Elemental damage, Physical to Lightning, and Volatility. Since AG has Soul Accession Gloves and support Spectres, I decided that the attack speed is enough and I don't need the multi-strike. For the utility skills, I'm using Desecrate, Bone Offering for the mapping, Spirit Offering for the bossing, Assassin Mark, and Convocation. Next, in the body armor, I have Shield Charge, cast when damage taken, Immortal Call setup, Chaos Golem for the physical damage reduction, and it all socketed with the life tap, since mana regeneration level won't be enough for our shield charge. As for the Spectres, I'm using level 21 Rise Spectre linked with the Empower for the additional Spectre, Feeding Frenzy for the buff, and Minion Shield for the survivability. Now let's go to the auras. I'm using the Purity of Ice, Arctic Armor, and Tempest. And since I said about the Purity of Ice, let's talk about the build survivability. A lot of you might know that the biggest enemy of the Dorianis build are the lightning dots. Usually people are shifting damage to cold or fire using the amulet, but it works only for hits, and the dot is still a big problem. So to overcome the obstacle of lightning dot, I decided to shift the damage completely, not only from the hits, but from the dot as well. To achieve this, I'm using a combination of Divine Flash and Purity of Ice Sublime Vision with the Watcher Eye. Using this combination allows us to get a 100% conversion level from lightning and fire damage to cold. And since we are not getting any fire and lightning damage, we can focus on getting as much cold and chaos resistance as possible. When it comes to physical damage, I'm using Endurance Charges, Chaos Golem, and Aspect of the Crab. The main source of the sustain is just simple life regeneration from our gear, flasks, and Spectre. And since I'm on topic of the Spectre, let's talk about the Spectre. I'm using 2 corpses and 2 generic Spectre. The corpses are Perfect Warlord and Perfect Spirit Fortune. The first one gives Vitality Aura, and he uses the Enduring Cry, which will grant us Endurance Charges and life regeneration as well. Second Spectre will give Wrath Aura, and the most important is Nearby Allies, Lightning Damage Lucky. The other 2 Spectres are Spectre Leader, grants 20% action speed buff, and a House Chieftain for the power charges. Well, this should be it. If I've missed something or you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. For those who are interested, the next video is going to be about crafting of the gear for this build. If you like the content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And I'm gonna see you in the next crafting video. Bye!